What's up, everybody? It's Robert from Pheasant Lane Farm. Hope everyone's doing well. Out here in the barn tonight, feeding my daughter's miniature show horses, Mr. Roller, and over there's Mr. Rascal. So, if you're like me and you don't have a bucket level indicator on your tractor, now may be the time to do it. Now, hear me out. I grew up running an Oliver 77 from the 50s, awesome tractor. Every kid wants to be like their grandpa when they're growing up. That was my grandpa's tractor. I grew up running that tractor at our family's trucking sales business. That tractor did everything from brush hogging to asphalt repair, moving trailers around, anything you can think of. So I just knew by feel where that bucket was, never needed one. Been running that tractor since I was 7, 8 years old. A couple months ago, we bought a new property, my wife and I, and bought a new Kubota L3901. Didn't need the bucket level indicator. It's like, I'll figure it out. And I didn't want to spend the $70 or $80, maybe more, whatever that they sell those for. So I, right when I got the tractor, the same day it got delivered, I had 100, I'm not sure, 100 ton of 411 limestone delivered. And since then, I've had more delivered. So I've used about between 130 and 150 ton of stone. I've moved with that L3901. Never had a bucket level indicator. You learn pretty quick how things work. So my buddy Zooker started making these bucket level indicators. And I was like, nah, I don't need one. Good point Robert made was that his wife uses his tractor a lot, and she has a harder time defining the bucket angle. Excuse me. Oh, spicy bratwurst for dinner. So I was like, that's a good idea. My wife uses the tractor a lot, my brother, my dad, and it's different than using our bigger farm equipment. So I said, give me one. So after having it on the tractor and getting a good 10 hours of use out of it with just the pallet forks, it's an amazing tool for what he sells these things for. So look him up. It's Zooks Welding, Zooks. I'm going to show you the footage of me installing it a couple days ago. I wanted to get it on and get a feel for it before I threw it out there. Just because Robert's one of my best friends and I've known him for a long time, I'm not going to promote anybody's products if they're not what I think they should be. Take a look at the footage. Hope you like it. If you have any questions, hit me up or hit Robert up at his page, Zooks Welding, Zooks. It's a great thing. And I don't know what he's selling them for, but I believe shipping's included. So check them out. And I did pay for mine. I didn't take one for free, so you're getting an honest review. All right, and here it is. So you have a long metal rod. He painted the same Kubota orange, and it's got a L-shaped bracket. This L-shaped bracket right here is going to go in the top of this pin bolt, which they're loose from the factory, you can see. So we're going to tighten that down, and then this eye bolt is going to go through here, so you can adjust the angle inside and out. And then to mark where you want it, you just tape electrical tape, put it on the top and on the bottom when you're sitting on the tractor, so it's right when you're looking down at it. So we're going to do that. All right, these are 10 millimeter, so I grabbed a 10 millimeter wrench, an offset socket. Maybe that'll fit up underneath there. Good to go there. If you watch in my other videos, I needed a set of wrenches that weren't ratcheting. So I actually bought this set of Harbor Freight, and I must say I've been pretty happy with them for what they are. I know a lot of guys talk bad about Harbor Freight, but they've served me well. I bought a set, I don't know, 22 piece. And it's even big enough where it works on the hydraulic cylinder or the hydraulic fittings. So I've been pretty impressed with them for what they are, and the price can't go wrong. All Alright, so get this pulled out of here. Don't drop it down the drain. Alrighty. It's hot today, I'm sweating. Let's get this bracket here cut off. And then this was already pre-assembled. And we will just put this here, drop that bolt down through there, and then put the nut back on. Doesn't get much easier than that. He did tell me to make sure you put the nut on tight. I'm going to work a little better that way. If you know anything about the factory bucket level indicator that goes, if you're sitting on the tractor, it goes on the right side. It comes with new pins that so you pull the loader pins out on certain areas and they already have a bracket on them. But when I bought it, I was like, I don't think I need that. And it's got grease on it, it's a little slippery. But then I got thinking, you know, I'm not the only one that uses this loader. My wife's a pretty good tractor operator. And my buddy Robert, who makes these, was telling me that guys are buying them from him that already have the factory bucket level indicator, but they want something on the other side for, say, a grapple or for pallet forks. And that got me thinking, like, you know, that's a pretty good idea. It's just hard to see the fork sometimes, so kind of a tight area. I could have lifted this in the air and done it a little easier, but I wanted to get it down here where I could get a decent footage of it. But yeah, it's a good idea. I don't know what he's selling these for. I think like 55 bucks or something, which is a steal. Maybe even less if you pre-order them. I know he does a pre-order every once in a while. But they come factory Kubota orange, and then pretty easy to put together. So we got that on there. Now let's install the eye bolt that goes right in this hole. So I'll set the camera down, we'll get that in there. I don't know anywhere to set the camera, and we'll see how this works. And there we are. Only took about, I don't know, 10 minutes for sure to do everything. So, like what we did, there is a bracket right there that fits tight against this edge so it can't twist. You just pull that nut on the bottom tight. This has a bushing which allows it to swivel back and forth. Snug that up a little bit. Goes up here, it clears all your hoses. And there's the eye bolt, goes through here. Locking nut, and then what's nice about this is it leaves it up to you to decide where you want to put the tape, what angle you want to set this eye bolt at. So I went and bought a couple colors of different colored tape. I'm going to, kids running around in their underwear, oh gosh. I'm going to put one color tape on here for the bucket. I'm going to try and put another piece of tape on here color coded for the pallet forks, and we'll see how it goes. But right now it looks pretty good. It's simple, I like it. So I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna grab that colored tape and then get back on this. These chicks are not happy right now, but I went ahead and did black for the bucket, then I'll pick another color and use for the pallet forks. But yeah, just put a piece of tape below and above it, and then when you're on the tractor you can see when it's in between the two and the bucket is level. So I'm gonna go grab the forks, see how that works, and then start moving these totes of firewood around. All right, we're back out here at the wood pile now. What I did is I leveled that with the bucket for someone else is using it, and used the black tape. And I used the yellow for the pallet forks, and as you can see, they're quite a bit different. Pallet forks are vertical in the back, where the bucket, the quick attaches lean forward a little bit, so you can actually use both of these on the same rod. What I did is I lifted the pallet forks off the ground about 3 inches, about the height I use all the time when I'll be going in and out of pallets, and then I set this. That way, really doesn't make much sense in my head to have them perfectly level when they're touching the ground, because then when you pick them up even a little bit, you're going to be tip high in the front. So, all right, I'm about to jump on the tractor and see if we can pick up this. This is mixed hardwoods, and that was a 275 gallon tote. From what I've read, if you have those all the way to the top rail, a little heaping full, it's a third of a cord or slightly more.